All right. Sorry for the delay, everybody. It's tough to predict the timing on days like today. I'll just give a summary of where we're at this week. David Desharnais to San Jose for a fifth. Michael Bunting in a fourth to Nashville for Tommy Novak and Luke Schenn. Schenn subsequently to Winnipeg for a second and a fourth. Anthony Beauvillier to Washington for a second. Cody Glass and Jonathan Gruden to New Jersey for a third. Chase Stillman and Max Graham. And then a trade still pending, but I know it's out there and talked about already. And Intree talked about it at his press. It's a fifth to Toronto for Connor Timmins and Connor Dewar. So all told, it leaves us with 6 picks in the top 3 rounds of each of the next 3 years. Draft triples of the 3rd and the 25th, triples of the 2nd and 26th, and triples of the 3rd again in 27. So triples is best. So that is where we net out today, and I will open up to questions from the floor.
Kyle, there's been a lot of, I think, speculation, it's fair to say, about Rickard Rakell and his, where he stands with the franchise. You didn't move him. Yep. Do you view him as a guy that you want to be part of this mix going into next season and beyond? Also, what stage of the program are we at with what you're trying to accomplish in Pittsburgh?
I'll start on Rax. I mean, he is a big part of our program and a big part of our program. So I think everyone has seen this year and he's got a long history of the type of player that he is, but we see him every day, the type of person that he is as well. And I think when you have players that perform that way on a game in, game out basis, that show the ability to respond when things don't go well, and then can propel themselves back into being some of the, near the top of the league and perform at that level. It's not something that you, especially when you have them signed and they want to be a part of the community, they want to be a part of the program, they know the path that we're on, and they want to be a part of helping to bring the team back to being in contention. I would say that you don't just push that out the door because that may be what's wanted. You have to do what's right for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and for us, having Rickard Rakell as part of the Pittsburgh Penguins was definitely the right thing to do as we measured it up against everything. So we're happy to have him. He's a big part of what we do, and I know he really wants to be here. With regards to what stage of the program we're at, I think we've spent the last 12 months almost exactly accruing assets and accruing flexibility in cap space. And now we'll begin to shift to the execution of that. That'll be drafting some players using that. I don't know that it's feasible to expect that we can use all those draft picks to use every one of them and then expect all of them in sequence to become part of the club. So we'll have those assets available for trade. We have cap space available in free agency. And so we'll shift here a little bit from asset collection into continuing down that path, but also looking to how we can use the assets that we've acquired, whether it's cap flexibility or the draft picks to add to our group and add to our roster. So it may not be, it will still require patience, and it may not be as quick as some would like, but that's what we'll continue to do. And our goal is, as I've stated here a number of times, is to return the team to contention as urgently as possible.
Kyle, did you ask anyone to waive a no trade or a no move? And was the market for Grzelcyk and Rakell what you expected it to be, or better or worse?
With regards to that, there were no circumstances, Dave, where we felt that we were going to go to players and ask them to waive their no moves. There were no teams that approached us that had offers on players where the no trades were in effect that created that, and so that's the answer on the no trade front. On the no move front, there was nothing that would have caused us to go to the players. I try not to do that, but if it was in the best interest of the team and the Penguins moving ahead, we would have, but there just weren't any circumstances that were there. With regards to the marketplace, it was with Raquel, it was, I mean, there's lots of interest in Ricard Raquel. We just decided that based on where we were at, his value to us, the term remaining on his contract, and the way that he's played and the player that he is, it was the best interest of the team to have him remain. With regards to Grizz, there was interest, but teams kicking tires. But in the end, we got through the deadline, and he remains a member of our team. We expect him to continue to have a strong season. And when we brought him in, we pledged that we would give him the opportunity to get things back rolling, and he's taken advantage of that. So, we'll hope we'll continue to push him to do so here through the last stretch of the year.
Kyle, Erik Karlsson's name was bandied about in a lot of speculation. Was there any substance to any of that? And do you still view him as being part of your program moving forward? Obviously has 2 more years left on his contract beyond this year.
Yeah, Erik's an interesting one, I think, because he hasn't been a part of he came in the same summer the team was coming out missing the playoffs. The attempt was to bring him in, and with the other things we did in the summer of 23 to try to give it one, that was the strategy, to try to give it one jolt to see if we can propel it back in. It didn't work. So Erik, to me, it's from a team perspective, not really to do with Erik, because the team is not in the contending space that it was for the decades prior, frankly. So with him, he's such a talented player. I know night in and night out, like our team has this year, it can be a little up and down. But his skating continues to be amongst the best in the league. Obviously, offensively and puck movement continues to be at that level. We have to keep pushing him, and I think he can be a part of helping our team continue to move along. So I don't sense with his skating and his talent and ability that there's going to be any real drop off. There was no discussion, Seth, to him. No worries. There was no nothing taken to him about waiving his no move. So, and he's not a player that we would just look to move along. He's a hugely valuable player in the league, and I think we'll be here and we'll be in the marketplace come summer or next year, or depending on where we're at. So,
Kyle, I know you mentioned the draft capital that you've accrued over the last 12 months or so. And I also know that you said that it's still important to practice patience here, but with the flexibility that draft capital does give you, just how important is the position that it puts you into to take advantage of what you still do have with guys like Sid and with Gino and with Chris Letang and so forth?
Yeah, I think I try to, in my head, not focus on taking advantage of what's here. It's always what's in the best interest of the Penguins. So if there are opportunities to use the excess capital that we've accumulated, whether it's cap space or draft picks, to add players to the program that can help propel it ahead, we won't hesitate to do that. I think I've always come in and said that there's no ambition on my end to have this take any longer than it needs to take, both for the city and for the people who have put in a lot to keep the Penguins at this level for a long time. That's not even just players; it's staff that have been around for a long time. There's a certain level, and when the level drops off, I think you don't want the standards of the core ideology to erode, and so that's what we work towards each day, Wes.
Kyle, this picks up kind of right on that note with regard to flexibility and liquidity. But as it pertains to the upcoming draft, I know we're a couple months out, but do you have any kind of ballpark ideas just with regards to picks of just how many of those 12 you'd like to ideally have going into the draft versus what you might be willing to part with if situations and scenarios arose? Yeah,
it'll all be value based. I mean, obviously, we're not going to part with our first. We'll get greater clarity on what happens with this Rangers pick that we hold from the Drew and Marcus trade. They'll owe us that, I think, 48 hours prior to the draft, so we're ready for all situations. Obviously, the Rangers on their current, the way that they're playing currently, and I think what everyone expects of them, they're going to obviously make a strong push. So if it falls outside of that top 13, the pick will come to us, and we'll be ready to execute on it. We've got the second now and 3/3. I think the scouting staff will prepare them as though we have to execute as best we can on all of them. And I think we've talked about it at length, and that teams around the league know as we get close to the draft and restricted free agency coming up, whether players are going to sign or re-sign or not, we'll try to be in the mix for all those young players that fit that next era of the team that can come in and help us right now.
Kyle, obviously, you've made a number of moves. Some of those are players for draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share with us kind of your message to this current group for questions they might have or what
Sure.
their thought process is going forward?
Sure. The message to the current group of players is that I think there's a certain standard here with the team, and we expect that to be upheld throughout the last number of weeks of the season. We expect to come in, play hard, train, play at their best level each and every day. There's a number of guys in that room that have a whole lot to play for, regardless of what stage they're at in their career. There's a coaching staff that's going to come in every day, medical staff, performance staff, equipment staff. They're going to come in and be at their best every single day. We expect that to from the players. There's a massive amount of opportunity for a lot of these guys that are on short-term deals or that have aspirations to remain in the league. And now is a massive opportunity for them to not only, if they've had good years to date, to continue to improve on their form and assert themselves, but for the guys that haven't, for the guys that have been up and down between the minors or here, not for the new players coming in, like Connor Dewar, Connor Timmins, Tommy Novak. It's a great opportunity to assert themselves onto the coaching staff and our staff for where they want to be with the group next season. They're all under team control. So I know it's not what the fans, media group is used to at this time of the year in Pittsburgh, and we can't have this be the norm every single year. But I do think that this gives us a chance also to test, to give runway to some of our younger guys as they earn it. We have huge expectations in Wilkes-Barre for what they're going to do the rest of the year as well. So I know it's not typical, and we won't allow it to become typical, but I do think this remaining 5 or 6 weeks is a great opportunity for the organization and for the players within to show us that they are a part of bringing us back into contention.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about the 4 players and prospects you picked up today? Graham and Stillman, just what's the attraction there, and as well
Sure.
as Timmins and Dewar, what
Yeah.
they have NHL experience. What do you like about them?
Connor Timmins I've known a long time. We drafted him in the Sioux in 2014, and then he's played there. He's been a national team player for Canada, and then high pick for Colorado. He's part of a trade Arizona. He is a good size, incredibly intelligent defenseman, excellent puck mover, has kind of overcome some of the injury stuff that plagued him early in his career. We traded for him my last year in Toronto. He's continued to assert himself there, and I think at his age and his capability to move the puck and defend, I still think there's a lot of potential there that they just, obviously the Leafs are they're in a different spot. They're pushing to try to win, as they should, and they did a great job in the offseason, great job today, and it shakes loose a player that I'm familiar with. Dewar, we brought in, kind of going to the previous question of expectations, highly competitive, a great teammate, come in and bring a certain life and spirit to the group, sort of similar to what, very different in terms of style of play, but one of the reasons why we thought it was important to have Boko here. He brings life and energy and spirit, and as we continue to work our way through this, it's important to have those types of people here. And Connor's much younger and is under team control with his status. So we'll give him a good run, and we're excited about him. The players in the New Jersey deal, Max Graham was a re-entry draft pick last year. The Devils picked him in the 5th round out of Kelowna in the Western League. Big, physical winger who this year got off to a great start, was playing his best hockey. He had an injury that ended his season. So we viewed it as an opportunity, when we were going through this situation with them, when they had expressed an interest in Cody Glass. The draft pick was one part, but, being able to add a player like Max, where we felt, maybe because the injury could be available and we liked him, don't have a lot of players like that in the system that combine that size, toughness, and ability. So we'll have him in here with our medical people. He had knee surgery, so he'll miss the rest of the year. We'll get him back up and running for for the prospect tournament in Buffalo in September. And Chase Stillman is a player that we just have a long familiarity with. He played in the OHL and Sudbury and Peterborough. Was a first-round pick of the Devils in 2021. He's in his second year of his entry-level deal now. He won a championship in Peterborough a few seasons ago. Highly competitive winger that you know what you're going to get from every night. He's gonna play hard, play physical, and he's got an offensive history that just hasn't come to the surface yet at the American League level. But we'll look forward to working with him. He's going to he's in Utica tonight. He's going to drive to Wilkes tomorrow, and he'll play for Wilkes and hopefully be a big part of helping them. But two younger guys and a draft pick there for us with them from New Jersey that we're excited about. No, I think by the time with this trade, they're technically still not officially members of the Penguins, so you know we're in the queue, but I don't expect there's going to be any issues with that. But they'll try to they'll get there late tonight, and the team will practice tomorrow, and they'll jump in.
Kyle, you mentioned earlier and often about the urgency to get the team back to contention, and you also said that it might not be as soon as everybody would like. Now that you're 2 years into this, how does that work, given the age and the contract status of many of the guys that are the core of this group, and all the things you've done to add assets that are futures?
Yeah. So in terms of relative to the age of the group and their contracts, my goal is to try to build a group around those guys and give them one or two chances while they're still on those contracts. And they're varying lengths. Like Gino's different from Sid's, different from Tanger. The only two that really line up are Sid and Eric. Rusty and Rax I'd put in that as well. Like they both have 3 years after this year, so they line up more with Chris. It's trying to find guys that can come in, whether they're our own players that come from Wilkes-Barre that are there now, driving the team as younger players, or draft picks, or using those assets to add younger players. We're not going to use those assets to add older guys. We have to make and execute smart decisions that help to drive the Penguins forward. And so when I said it might not be as soon as people like, what I don't want to have be the narrative or the expectation is that we're going to immediately spend all these assets this summer. If the right moves are there, then we will execute on those, but we can't do the work we've done the last 12 months. I mean, a year ago I knew coming in here that decision would come, and it was going to be on me to make, and it wasn't going to be popular. But that's the position that I chose, and really the way I viewed the opportunity that I chose in coming to Pittsburgh was that I knew with it was going to come that difficult time, and we did that last year. It started with moving Jake to Carolina, and we've continued down that path through this season. Started with Lars in November, and obviously the situation here this week. So what I want to do is temper the expectation that we're going to use all these right away this summer and do whatever we have to do with them. We're going to survey the landscape as urgently as we can each day to find moves that can best help and propel the team ahead. If there aren't moves available, we will execute on these picks with our personnel staff, with Andy Saucier and Wes Clark, to make sure that we're bringing the best young talent that we can. How it lines up with the older players is all I can give, is my pledge that we are going to do everything we can to attempt to have them all have one last chance, or multiple, depending on how long they play. I'm not going to start to doubt these guys. You've been around them longer than I have. I don't want to put a time limit on them, because they're all special people and special players, as everyone in the room knows better than I, because they've experienced it firsthand here. So, but that's our ambition, and that's what we'll do.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you. All right, thanks everybody.